What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 video, and I'm just checking in on you. How you doing? What's going on? Now today is May 21st, and this is going to be your weekly vendor reset and must-buys. So sit back, relax, grab that popcorn, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you think in the comment section below. But we're going to start off here in Washington, D.C., and then we will finish up in New York City. Here we go.
Greetings.
And starting with the base of ops vendor, we have the Burnout. This is the named FAMAS with perfectly on empty, and this week it comes with headshot damage. Following that, we have a MP5 with stability and future perfect, a MK16 with headshot and future perfect, and finally a M1911 with killer and magazine size. Looking at the gear items, we have a Golden Gear backpack with shock and awe, explosive resistance, and armor regen. And finally, a GRUPO backpack, or a GRUPO chest piece, my bad, with intimidate, max armor regen, and health. Interesting. I mean, if you wanted to go with like a crit armor regen build, you could easily just recalibrate the health off for crit chance, and then have crit chance armor regen with the intimidate, and then just run one red on like an all blue build. That wouldn't be that bad. Not bad. All right. Moving on to the mods, we have crit hit damage 10.2, drone scan range 8.0, turret +1 extra sniper, and sticky bomb skill haste of 4.2. Now, must buys, things to look for from the base of ops vendor. The only thing I would really say take a look at is the GRUPO chest piece with Intimidate. You can easily put that with, say, Bloodsucker, the Memento, or Adrenaline Rush, and get all of that extra damage from Intimidate. Not bad. All right, that is it from the base of ops. Let's run over to our countdown vendor. Now, just a reminder, the countdown and clan vendors are in Washington, D.C. and New York City. I'm going to show them here in Washington, D.C. That way I don't have to later on in the video. So, with that being said, here is the countdown vendor. Our top 3 named items. We have the Lightning Rod. This is the named pistol with perfect salvage, and this week it comes with headshot damage. Following that, we have a 0F's chest piece with perfectly unbreakable, armor regen, and skill damage. This is actually a really good chest piece. I would say pick this up. I would even say this is a must-buy. Just recalibrate the skill damage off for, say, crit chance, crit damage, headshot damage, or probably even hazard, and you could have a lot of fun. Perfectly unbreakable matches up very well with, like, say, the Mop for armor on kill, the Scorpio for any sort of content. There's a lot of really good shotguns that you could pair up with this chest piece. Not bad. Check it out, the 0Fs at the countdown vendor. And finally, we have the Everlasting Gaze. This is the named rifle with perfect perpetuation, and this week it comes with crit chance. All right. And finally, for our base of ops, we have the clan vendor. And reminder that the DoD Disciples of Doom, we are on all platforms. So again, shout out to the DoD. And if you are interested in joining our clan on either PlayStation, PC, or Xbox, make sure to go to my Discord server. To go to my Discord server, you need to go to my YouTube channel, go to the About Me section, and the very first link will be a Discord link. You can go over to my Discord server. There is LFG groups, there is matchmaking, there are other clans that are recruiting. There are, the list never ends. There's people just sharing their builds. There's people sharing their Easter eggs. There's people talking about their outfits. The Discord's stacked. So go over to the Discord if you're interested in joining the DoD. All right, here we go, Clan Vendor.
Something particular I can help you find?
And at the top for the clan vendor, we have the Chain Killer. This is the named Walker Harris chess piece with perfect headhunter. And this week it comes with max crit chance and weapon handling. I like the crit chance. I do not like that weapon handling. I would say recalibrate that off for headshot damage, but the weapon damage is so low on this chest piece, it's hard to even say pick it up because you would have to change the weapon handling. So therefore, you would have to use at least 4 or 5 optimizations to get that weapon damage up. I don't know if it's worth it. We can discuss that in the comments. For the gear set items, we have a Heartbreaker chest piece with... Ooh. Yo, this is a good chest piece. Heartbreaker chest piece at the clan vendor. Pick it up. Crit chance. This is really good for both your AR and your shotgun. Remember, use it with the Kingbreaker and a rock and roll or an ACS 12 as your secondary. Both of those will benefit with more crit chance. This is a really good chest piece to use. And remember that the chest piece gives you 100 stacks instead of the normal 50. And you're going to need it with Heartbreaker. Pairing that up with the backpack is just like a cheat code. Following that, we have a ongoing directive mask with skill haste and a aces and eights chest piece with really good weapon damage and crit chance. This is another good chest piece to look at. You could either max out the crit chance or change it to headshot damage, but either way, that's a good chest piece for your aces and eights out there. Going to the high-end items, we have a converted SMG9 with almost everything maxed out. All you would have to do is recalibrate the reload speed, and it's god rolled. Sadist. So you could put this on like a Ridgeway's Pride build, or like say with trauma, something that causes bleed. Not bad. The converted SMG9 is not my favorite weapon, but it's always cool to see those max attributes. Moving on, we have a double barrel shotgun with swap speed and sadist as well. A Palisade Steelworks knee pads with armor regen and skill haste. That's a good pair of knee pads for like say an armor on kill build. What I would do is just recalibrate the skill haste off for whatever it is you want. Keep the armor regen. That way you get the armor on kill and you get the armor regen while you're waiting to get that armor on kill. Moving on, we have a M16A2 with max crit hit damage, magazine size, and future perfect. A SIG of 5.56 with headshot and flatline. Following that, GRUPO knee pads with health and explosive resistance. And finally, Araldi Holdings mask with skill damage and armor regen. Going to the mods, we have crit hit damage 10.5, blind deaf resistance 9.0. Crit hit damage. Dude, I hate when they do this, man. How lazy. Like, you can't get like a Q&A dev to just double check the stuff before you post it. Like, what? All right. Here's my little, you know what grinds my gears, little pet peeve kind of deal here. So this one is a crit damage mod, 10.5. for 4,528 credits. This is a crit damage mod, 10.6, heyo. So for a whole 0.1% more. However, that's going to cost you 2 more credits. So instead of 45.28, this one will cost you 45.30. I don't know. It's just, I understand that these vendors are quote unquote randomly generated. I get it. But the amount of times that they have duplicates is alarming. And finally, we have a pulse cone size mod for 6.8%. Now, must buys, things to look for from the clan vendor. Probably the Heartbreaker chest piece, the Aces and Eights chest piece, the Palisade Steelworks knee pads, and that's about it. So 3 things from the old clan vendor. All right, and that is it for the base of ops. Now we're going to go west. We will double back east when we are done. Our first stop is going to be the campus settlement. Now, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up, support the channel. And we're getting really close. I'm going to start taking polls on what I should do for this 100K celebration. It's going to be pretty cool. All right, here we go. Campus settlement. Starting with the Carnage. This is the named Negev with Perfect Sadist. Sadist seems to be the big thing this week in the vendors so far. I know I've only gone to, 3 or 4 vendors, but it seems Sadist and now Perfect Sadist is the ticket item this week. This one coming with a crit chance. What I would do is recalibrate that crit chance off and then just go straight damage to armor, and then you're good to go. Moving on, we have a Paratrooper SVD with armor damage and sledgehammer. A military L86 with stabilize and headshot. Following that, 511 mask with weapon handling headshot. And finally, electric holster with armor regen and explosive resistance. Looking at the mods, we have skill duration 8.2, chem launcher duration 4.1, Hive +4 Stinger charges, Pulse Health 14.7, and Trap duration of 4.2. Now, if you're new or returning to the game and you don't have a lot of skill mods, you might want to double check and make sure you have a +4 Stinger charges mod, just in case you put on a build with the Stinger. You want those +4 charges. That's pretty big. Anything else from here, though? I mean, the Carnage is a good weapon. Just switch off the crit chance for damage to armor, but that's really it. It's sad. All right. Moving on to our Dark Zone vendors. This is usually where it starts to get spicy. So, starting with Dark Zone West. West! Let's go. Now, just a reminder, I do this every week. For your Dark Zone vendors, they only take DZ resources. So don't come over here thinking you can buy it with countdown tokens or some crap. It has to be DZ resources. So to double check that, just go to your inventory, toggle over to your resources, and just above your keys will be your DZ resources. The reason why I'm telling you this is I am hella low on DZ resources this week. I'm only at 30 out of 999. So that means if I find anything now, I need to go directly into the Dark Zone and start farming DZ resources. Now remember, to do that, all you have to do is open up the little blue boxes or deconstruct contaminated items and extract them. All right? Cool. And with that being said, here we go. DZ West. Starting with the Firm Handshake, this is the named Sokolov Concern Gloves with status effects. This one with crit chance, this actually is a good pair of gloves. Not bad at all. The crit chance is not my favorite for a SMG build. However, if you have one roll of crit chance on an SMG build, you could pretty much guarantee you're going to be near max for crit chance. So you could roll everything else on your build crit damage and probably be good. The weapon damage is okay. You'd probably have to optimize that about 3 times. Moving on, we have a M870 Express with stability and breadbasket, a UIC 15 Mod 2 with swap speed and Ranger. For the gear items, we have Eclipse Protocol gloves with explosive resistance, Hotshot knee pads with repair skills, Sokolov Concern gloves with weapon handling and armor regen, and finally, Badger Tough knee pads with crit chance and skill damage. Looking at the mods, we have Shock Resistance 8.5, Seeker Mine Radius 4.1, Shield Deflector Damage 4.3, Firefly Skill Haste 5.9, and Decoy Duration of 6.0. Now, must-buys, things to look for from DZ West. The Firm Handshake's not bad. It's not bad. You could easily use that with the Ouroboros and have some fun. I mean, everything else is really not worth the DZ resources. I mean, you could go the Badger Tough, recalibrate the skill damage off for crit damage, have double crit, but the armor is so low that you would have to then optimize that maybe 5-6 times, and that crap gets expensive. So I really wouldn't recommend that. So maybe the Firm Handshake if you need it. All right. That is it on the west side. Now it's time to take our talents down south to the deep south DZ South. Oh boy, we going down south. Let's go. And a little skip, hop, and a jump, and here we are. DZ South. The Door Kicker's Knock. This is the named GRUPO chess piece with perfect spark. So you could easily use this with like a turret drone build, get some more weapon damage, have fun that way. And it comes with crit chance and headshot. That's not bad. I personally would recalibrate the headshot for crit hit damage and just go double crit. But you could easily just keep it the way it is and change that weapon damage to an armor core and have like a tanky crit skill, nice little synergy going on there. Not bad. To the weapons, we have a M1928 with headshot and close and personal, a custom P416 with max damage targets at a cover and sadist. Sadist again. How many sadist? I want to say that's five or maybe six different weapons with sadist already. And finally, for the weapons, a X45 Tactical with crit chance and eyeless. Looking at the gear items, I'm going straight for it. Y'all gear backpack. What? With bloodsucker. Okay. Recalibrate the explosive resistance for either hazard or crit. You're good to go. Not bad. Whenever you see y'all gear, you need to gravitate towards it because y'all gear is rare. So is system corruption. The reason being is that those are PvP exclusive sets. So if you don't see them in the DZ vendors, in conflict caches, or the Dark Zone, you're probably not going to see them unless you craft them. And the only way to craft them is to get the materials for them. So it's like this weird vicious cycle of rare exclusivity. What I would probably do is petition to the devs and have them just add y'all gear and system corruption to the rest of the general loot. I mean, it's about time they do that. Why not? But nevertheless, pick this one up, recalibrate the explosive resistance, you're good. But for the other gear items, we have Negotiator's Backpack with explosive resistance, Umbra chest piece with crit chance. I mean, that's not bad, but it's not worth the DZ resources. And finally, Palisade chest piece with status, hazard, and overwatch. Looking at the mods, we have crit hit damage 10.2, drone deflect duration 6.3, turret damage 4.2, and sticky bomb damage 6.5. Now, must buys, things to look for from DZ South. The Door Kicker's Knock is not bad. You could go double crit or just, change it to an armor. And the Y'all Gear Backpack with Bloodsucker, just switch the explosive resistance off for whatever other attribute you want. You're good to go. Not bad. It's not the best, but not bad. All right. Oh, before we go to DZ East, we need to make a pit stop to the castle settlement. Now remember, fast travel to the descent entrance. It's a little quicker, and that way you spawn right here next to the doggy. Pet the dog. Hey, doggy. Oh! Ransom's trying to pet or trying to shake. I see you. All right, castle settlement. Before the music starts to blow out my eardrums, starting with the Punch Drunk. This is a great mask, especially for those headshot builds out there. This is a great mask because remember, it comes with the 20% headshot, but you can also put a 10% headshot mod on there. So what I do is I typically run it with crit chance. I know that this one has crit hit damage on there, but you could keep it on there if you just want more crit hit damage. I typically go crit chance, so that's what I would recommend you do. But pick up this mask. It's really strong for those headshot builds, especially the headshot builds with the Regulus, or if you want to go with like some determined builds, something like that. You could have a lot of fun with this mask. Pick it up at the castle settlement. Moving on, we have a classic M44 carbine with armor damage and close and personal, a classic M60 with max crit hit damage and steady-handed, and finally, oh boy, this is a must-buy. Pick this up right now. Go to the castle settlement and pick up this GRUPO mask right now. You can make this a double crit GRUPO mask. It already has max weapon damage on there, so just recalibrate the weapon handling, and you have a double crit GRUPO mask. Really good to have for your builds. Super strong. Pick it up. And finally, China Light holster skill damage and headshot damage. For this holster, you could use this easily. Just recalibrate the headshot for either skill haste or status effects, and that's really good for your explosive damage builds and whatnot. Looking at the mods, we have repair skills 16.2, chem launcher and snare health 13.6, hive +4 stinger charges, pulse skill haste 5.0, and trap duration of 4.2. But must buys, things to look for from the castle, I would say check out the punch trunk, the GRUPO mask, and the China Light holster. All right. And going to our last Dark Zone stop, we have DZ East. Now, we do not go to the main entrance. Remember, go to the Alpha checkpoint. That way you don't have to run all the way through that courtyard. You will get this double loading screen. It wants to put you in a, a full DZ lobby or whatever.
Guarding location nearby.
But all you do is exit out the checkpoint, and booyah, here's your vendor. So here we go, DZ East, big money, no whammies.
Agent.
Ooh, okay. The Black Friday, nice. That's a good surprise. I like that. Okay, this is going to be another must buy. Pick up the Black Friday right now. What you would do is recalibrate the swap speed off for damage to armor, but that's it. Good to go. This is perfectly unhinged. This is the only weapon in the game with perfectly unhinged, and it's an LMG that hits like a MFing Mac truck. This is a PvP exclusive named item, so the only way to get this is either through a named item cache or PvP, being Conflict or the Dark Zone. Now you can get the blueprint from Descent if you're lucky, but buy it right now. It's 153 DZ resources. I would just recalibrate the swap speed off for damage to armor, but that's it. Good to go. It's a fun LMG, and it hits really, really hard with the right build. Moving on, we have a Covert SRS with magazine size and Sadist, again with the Sadist. And finally, Military L86 with crit chance and unhinged. Looking at the gear items, we have Hunter's Fury Mask with explosive resistance, Negotiator's Dilemma Holster with repair skills, Yuzina Gattaca Mask with crit hit damage and weapon handling, and finally, Richter and Kaiser Holster with repair skills and crit chance. Looking at the mods, we have Skill Haste 10.3, Chem Launcher Damage 4.2, Hive +4 Stem Charges, Pulse Cone Size 6.3, and Trap Shock Radius of 6.0. But must buys, things to look for from DZ East. Check out the Black Friday right now. This is a must buy. Pick it up. Just put damage to armor on there. As far as notable, nah, we're good.
Detected.
All right, so that is it for the Dark Zone vendors. We have one more stop before New York City, and that is the theater. The theater. We are going to the theater. Oh boy, it's always fun seeing Dolores at the theater. All right. Sorry. All right, theater. Here we go.
Glad you're here.
Starting with the lefty, with really bad rolls. Oh wow. I was about to say this is a must-buy because it's the lefty with perfect sledgehammer, and that seems to be everyone's favorite thing to use right now for bosses in both the raid and the incursion. But these rolls are so bad. What you would have to do is recalibrate the health damage off for damage to targets at a cover, but then you would have to optimize that damage to armor and shotgun damage, and that's looking like at least 10 optimizations. That's so expensive. I don't know if I could recommend that for you. But it's here, the lefty. If you don't care and you want that health damage on there, that's fine. What I would do then is max out the damage to armor, and then that shotgun damage is probably, 3 optimizations away. But that damage to armor roll is hella low. So, I don't know. Keep that in mind. Moving on, we have a KSG shotgun with magazine size and bread basket. A 1886 with max headshot and in sync. Nice. Nice. For the gear items, we have Petrov gloves with armor regen and explosive resistance. And finally, GRUPO knee pads with crit hit damage and skill damage. Looking at the mods, we have Ensnare Resistance 8.5, Seeker Mine Health 6.2, Shield Health 4.3, Firefly Damage 6.1, and finally Decoy Duration of 5.5. Now, must buys, things to look for from the theater. The lefties worth taking a look at, but the Grupo knee pads. Again, this is going to be the second piece of Grupo that you can have double crit. Super easy. Just pick these up and recalibrate that skill damage off for crit chance. And this is your second piece of Grupo that you could have double crit. Super useful for making builds. Make them the way you want and then put them in your stash. Good to go. And let's run over to New York and finish up with our remaining 2 vendors. Now, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up. Come on, support the channel by subscribing. Remember, I do daily Division content, so make sure you ring that notification bell. That way you don't miss a single Division video or live stream. I might even bring back YouTube Shorts. I don't know. Let me know if I should bring those back. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I don't know. All right, here we go. Marco. Starting with the MK16 reload speed and overflowing. Following that, we have a military RPK with health damage and fast hands. A double barrel shotgun with max armor damage, max headshot, and fast hands. And finally, a card 45 with in sync and headshot. Looking at the gear items, we have a CESKA, or is it CESKA? CESKA chess piece with skill haste, hazard, and protected reload. Sokolov concerned knee pads with skill haste and hazard. And finally, CESKA, my bad, a CESKA mask with crit damage and armor regen. This is really good. There's 2 different ways you could spin this one, so pick up 2 of these. What I would do is with one of them, just recalibrate the weapon damage off for armor. That way you could have a crit armor regen hybrid. And then for your other one, I said pick up 2, so for your other one, recalibrate the armor regen off for crit chance, go double crit. And you could put these with the Grupo knee pads that you just found for double crit as well. Hell, you could even put that with the firm handshakes that you had with crit as well. I mean, we could put together a whole ass crit build with these items. Yeah, I said that, whole ass. Looking at the mods, we have protection from elites 11.0, skill duration 8.6, Seeker Mind skill haste 5.0, Firefly damage 5.8, and trap duration of 4.3. Now, must buys, things to look for from Marco. Just the CESKA mask. Go double crit or put that armor on there for that armor regen. Okay. And finally, our last vendor of the video, Roy Benitez. Don't forget, pet the dog. Interact with the doggy twice. The first one, you're just petting the dog, but the second one, well, that second one's random. So he could roll over, he could spin, he could try to shake your hand. There's quite a number of things. Let's see what he does this week. And go. Oh! Aw, buddy. He wants to shake my hand. Both of the dogs this week want to shake my hand. All right, here we go. Roy Benitez, last vendor. Starting with the converted SMG-9 optimal range outsider. Following that, we have a military RPK with crit chance and flatline. Not bad. I would just change the crit chance off for damage to armor, but flatline, military RPK, that could be nice. People keep telling me to use the RPK. People keep telling me. I might put it on. All right, I might put it on. Just say RPK in the chat or in comments. I'll know what you're saying. Police MK17, armor damage and reformation. And finally, a snub-nosed Daceros with lucky shot and headshot. Moving on. Yo, there it is. Double crit. Sokolov gloves. I knew it. I knew it. This is a double crit vendor reset. I mean, that's four or five different things you could have double crit this week. It's really good. Really good. Pick these up. Just recalibrate the headshot for crit chance and go double crit. You're good. Or because SMGs have a tendency to have high crit chance, you could probably get away with going crit damage, headshot damage here, and then just change that weapon damage to an armor core. I'm going to do that. Let's see here. I passed over the Alps backpack with crit chance health and creeping death. And finally, Wyvern mask with status effects and health. This is a good mask. Just recalibrate the health off for skill damage and go skill damage, status effects. You're good. Looking at the mods, we have repair skills 15.8, crit chance 4.4, turret plus 1 extra sniper, chem launcher skill haste 6.0, and trap duration of 4.2. But it's looking like a big double crit reset. This RPK is really strong. Just put damage to armor on there. The Sokolov Concern gloves, make them double crit or armor for the core. And then just a notable, honorable, mention. The Wyvern wear, you could switch the health off for skill damage and go skill damage status effects, and you're good to go.
Thanks.
All right. Well, that was what? That was a lot of double crit items. We had Perfectly Unbreakable up in there. We had Y'all Gear up in there. There's a lot of good pickups today. But that's it for me. If you found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form, please hit that thumbs up. Support the channel by subscribing. We are so close to 100,000, and it's been a long road, but we're just getting started. So, if you found all that fun and useful, the whole jazz, support. I'm Kamikazevondoom. Take care now. Bye-bye, Dan. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace out.